Welcome everybody to another episode. My name is Iserte, your favorite realtor here in Central Ohio. And guys, I've been doing several interviews throughout this month, but today, I got to tell you something about this wonderful woman next to me. She is the one reason why I have a home and why I am in the business of real estate. With you, it is my honor to introduce you, the one and only Miss Ajah Hart.
Yay!
So, Ajah, tell us a little bit about, let's tell the audience how we met. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
my gosh.
that's where we should start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So started working for Pulte Homes in 2021.
Yeah.
And Alex and her family came into our Jerome Village community. And that's where we met. They were looking for a home. And we went through the whole process. And while we were kind of out touring homes, we just clicked.
It was
outside
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. So I remember that at the time, David and we were looking for a home, a resale home. Well, actually, we started years prior in COVID. We started looking. And then we kind of like backed out because we got a little scared, like, hey, what if we lose our jobs? And we didn't know much about the market and anything. Now I kind of regret it because those people who have those rates, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
But so we stopped the process. And then a few years later, in 2023, we started looking again. And I remember that we got pre-approved and we started looking in the resale market. And our realtor was just like showing us around. And we were actually approved for a certain amount that was a lot less.
Oh.
And we were looking. Nothing was like, what we wanted. Everything was really run down. And then we decided, hey, maybe we can, look for a duplex, because my whole idea was like to live in one side of the house while renting the other and have the house pay for it. So when we went and do that, the lender upped our approval.
Right.
And so with that in mind, that gave us the chance to look for more. And that's how I started looking in the website in Zillow and all this. And these beautiful homes came in my site. And I'm like, why is my realtor not showing me this?
Like, wait, we have way more options than that.
Okay. And of course, now I understand it. No. But yeah, so now I understand this. And probably it's because, it's very different to be approved for what you can pay, but the different thing is what you want to pay, right?
Right.
And so I remember that I started walking into these model homes without my realtor. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't go to the model homes without your realtor.
Yes. You need that guidance.
And so that's how I met you.
Yeah.
And I don't remember our first appointment very well. Do you remember the very first one? Do you remember it? It's been a minute.
Man, I guess I don't.
We came I think I came first alone the very first time, and then I brought David in.
Yeah.
I think so.
I thought Marcella was there.
Yeah. Marcella was there.
Then we were kind of walking around, like walking through the community.
David, yeah. And I remember we sat down, and as good first time home buyers, we were like, yeah, add this to the quote and add this and add this. And it was like $100,000 in options. And we were like,
now we know where we're at.
Budget. So then we left. And I remember that we stopped seeing you probably for a few months.
Yeah.
And then we kept looking. And I just, I was like, no, I really want that community. And I wanted that school district.
Yep.
And then that's the most crucial part where you became a super rep, because I remember calling you and say, Ajah, we really want that house.
Yeah.
We probably are barely there to afford it. I ran numbers with my husband on all our expenses.
Yes.
Please build me a house. I remember that was a point where I said, I don't want nothing in the house. build me the cheapest home you can possibly build in Jerome.
Yep.
And this is the amount we can pay per month. Can you do that? And I remember you were not quick to respond. You say, let me talk with my manager. Let me see what I can do.
Yep.
So what did you do?
Yeah. So that's, the price
Because I put you in a pickle.
Yeah. Yes. So kind of going through the numbers and trying to figure that out and trying to, kind of work with the incentive. But ultimately, too, because you built a boardwalk,
Yes.
which is our most popular. That was the one I loved. Our most popular floor
It was the
plan.
model home.
It was the model home.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, just kind of tweaking the numbers and figuring out, what's included, what could we do that was an upgrade or not, and really like tailoring your price out to the budget.
Yeah. So how did those negotiations went with your manager? You were like, hey, I have this family, but they can only afford this much. How did that go?
Oh yeah. So essentially I had to, come with the numbers kind of ready. Like this is the home that they want to build. This is what they're looking for. This is their current situation, and really talk through, ultimately presenting you in the best light too, so that it just really made sense for them to do a negotiation with us. So I tried to present you the best way I could.
I will love you for that.
Yeah.
She really, guys, like, I'm going to try not to cry. Ooh! But like she did an amazing job because we were really stressed out. And this is why I love working with first-time home buyers, because it can be stressful, especially when you really know what you want. And this is what we needed too. Because I mean, the rents in Dublin were like ridiculously expensive.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We started, with a certain amount back in 2019, and by the time in 2023, it had almost doubled.
Right, skyrocketed.
So I think that's what pushed us to say, okay, we need to be homeowners. It's not making any sense for us to keep paying somebody else's mortgage, because that's what you're doing when you're renting, right?
Yep.
And so you came through, and then you called me back and say, okay, this is what we got, and this is the price.
Yep.
Now, this is the best lesson, because I am one of those. We had to give up a bunch of things. We gave up the nice quartz, we gave up the nice cabinets, we gave up the nice flooring, but we got the house.
Yep.
And we got the area, and we got the school district that we wanted.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit, like in case like mine, how is that important when you're walking a buyer through the most favorable thought process to achieve what they really need? Sometimes not what they want,
right,
but what they really need.
Yeah. So, us working together as a team, to really figure out what was best. I think it's what's a must have, and then what's nice to have. So many of the cosmetic finishes in the home, so like countertops, flooring, things like that, can be done down the road, or even looking at resale. Many people kind of, obviously you want to get a home that should, is upgraded, but if not, those are things that you can upgrade later, or even if your taste changes and things like that. So I think focusing more so on the structure, like we'll build you a really, really solid structure, included features, stay with that. Many of the included features are really beautiful anyway.
Yeah.
And then this is in the school district in the area that you want. You can't change that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so sometimes as a first-time home buyer, you got to choose, right? Choose your battles, because if you're going to be priced out, you don't want to stress to not being house poor to the point that you cannot do anything else.
Right.
And I think you were really great at guiding us through that on, okay, this is what you must do, and maybe what's going to be more expensive to do later. I think we did add a couple things. The concrete patio, because concrete is very expensive to do later. We did just a very few minor things.
Yep.
And we still have a beautiful home.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, and you don't have to.
Right. So no, you can really fix, the budget to what, makes most sense for you financially. The model homes are always going to have all the bells and whistles, but then most people in the community don't do all of those upgrades. So you built the most popular. That's the one I would have built.
I love
if I had lived in the community.
Yeah, it's such a great floor plan, and it has so much versatility. It has the flex room and the loft upstairs, and it's just such. I mean, it's an amazing floor plan. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And then the second part of our journey came where, I was, at the time, I was working as a sales rep for American Express for the
Yeah.
small business area. And it was a virtual team, I remember. And then they were about to dilute it because we were post-COVID times. And so I remember watching you work.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to you and said, like, how do I even look your position online?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? And I remember you telling me, like, well, it's called new build rep, right?
Yep.
Or sales rep or consultant. Um, and you probably stayed like 2 hours talking to me about your career.
Yeah.
And that changed my whole perspective because you walking me through since your journey, how you started in real estate back in Texas,
Yeah.
then moving to Ohio with your family and all that. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, if I haven't told you this before, I started interviewing different reps in different builders. And you were by far the one that always kept the smile, always were not afraid to tell me everything about this journey. And at the end of the day, I think we had a couple of builders like aligned to where to purchase a home. And I think because you were incredibly nice, obviously because you priced the home right, but also the customer service and because you became a friend,
Yeah.
we ended up going with you.
Oh, yay. That makes me feel so great.
Yes.
And emotional too, because
Yes.
buying a home, it is really tough. And, figuring out a career for anyone, it's hard. It's hard to navigate, especially after COVID, with all the uncertainty and every, aspect of life, it seems. So when we met, I just felt like it kind of, went above and beyond of just, hey, let's see what home could fit. And more so, I saw a friendship, two moms trying to figure it out,
and you made me feel so comfortable, especially when you're newer in the country, right? And you don't know a ton of people. Maybe your social circle is smaller, and you start like just building a life. And you were such a central part of the life we have today.
Oh my gosh,
so yes,
Alex.
It is amazing.
I'm so glad.
So tell us a little bit about Ajah. So I know you're from Texas. Tell the audience, because I like to do this podcast to the point where people really get to know you and who you are and why would they work with you. And I think the best way to show that is the human part of it, not just the professional part of it. But tell us who you are.
Yeah, so I now live in Delaware, Ohio. And I'm a mom too. I have 3 kids.
3 beautiful kids.
Yes. So I'm very busy, very, just all the mom life things. But I always have loved homes. Even when I was little, I was really annoying because I wanted my parents to buy a new construction home in a new community that like all my friends lived in.
Yes.
And so I would get the newspaper and I'd circle the houses that I wanted them to buy.
Oh, that's amazing. So
leave it on the table.
So you were tiny. You were doing that. And this was back where in Texas? Where are you from?
In Plano, actually, and then moved to Frisco. So I just have always been, even, like driving past homes and it's beautiful and you just want to see inside. So I've always really liked homes. And so in, what was that? 2021, I decided, hey, I'm just going to go for it. I actually had a background as a leasing consultant. Okay. And I really liked that.
How old were you when you started working as a leasing consultant?
Oh, man. When was that? Like 24, maybe?
So you were 24 years old when you started in the real estate industry.
Yeah. Yep.
What made you go into that industry? What were you doing before?
Yeah. So before, I actually had been in cosmetology school.
That's where it is. I was just telling her that her makeup is always pristine and I love your makeup. Okay, so there you go. That explains a lot.
Yeah. So I was just, and I think at that time, just being young, trying to figure it out. Like, do I want to do hair or I really loved makeup. I wanted to do makeup, at that time.
Let's do a makeup event.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. A lunch and learn.
I would love to do
Get
that.
ready with me, lunch and learn.
That'd be fun. I can do that.
I'm telling you guys, marketing ideas, we are here.
Yes,
always,
with Alex.
I mean,
she's got all the ideas. Yeah, I would do that because that was like, I think that was also when YouTube and beauty gurus and all that was getting really big, and I got into it. I went to cosmetology school, and then I realized, I don't know if I want to do something like that, full time. Yeah. And I loved real estate. And that's when I was just like, okay, well, maybe I'll try being a leasing consultant and see what I think. I should have just got my real estate license back then, but.
Hey, you started young enough. I feel like I started well in my 40s, and all the kids that I've been seeing thriving at such a young age.
Gosh,
I mean, that is amazing.
It is.
That is amazing.
It is. It's a great career.
So then you got your real estate license in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a requirement to be a leasing agent in Texas?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Nope. So I was a leasing agent for, some years. And then I decided to go ahead and get my real estate license. Just kind of, take it up a notch in a sense and just go for it.
Yeah.
So that's when I started actually my coworker, she had started the classes.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were both leasing agents, and she's like, just do it. Just start it. Like it's really flexible. You can do like videos or online so I went for it.
And then, so for how long did you practice real estate in Texas before coming to Ohio?
Barely any time at all.
Okay.
It was so short-lived. I got my license, and I was so proud because I passed on the first time.
Girly, me too.
I was like, I am not taking this again. I'm not.
We're pretty, but we're nerdy.
I'm like, yes, I know this.
Yeah, when you got ADHD, you're like, I got to pass on the first one because I am too anxious to go through this several times. No judgment for the people that do, but
yeah.
No.
Right? Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to just knock this out. I don't have the bandwidth to do it again.
To do it all over again.
Right. So did that. And I actually joined Rogers Healy, which is like a smaller brokerage there. I, interviewed at a few, and that's the one I chose. So I was really just getting through my training period when 3 kids, all in, no family down there. COVID was kind of.
Where's your family from?
Delaware, Ohio.
Oh, so how you ended up in Texas then?
Yeah, so I moved down there with my family, with our kids, because my best friend had moved down there with her family.
Okay.
Yep. So they were just down there all the time, or they were inviting us to come down there all the time, and then we would over years, and then it was just like, okay, let's make that final decision to go ahead and just move.
How did you like Texas?
I loved it.
I
miss
would
it
love
a lot.
to live in Texas. Yeah.
It was great. It's just anything that
and the weather doesn't snow.
Yeah, it was great. It was like anything you wanted to do, you could do. And then it's like 60 degrees, and people have on Uggs and winter coats.
And here the Ohioans are like wearing shorts.
I know, like
zero.
It's getting warm. So I did. I loved it. I grew a lot as a person. I grew in my career. I felt, with all the opportunity there, that I wanted to go for something like getting my real estate license and starting my career and really putting myself out there, because that's really hard. As a new, home sales consultant, as a realtor, it's hard to put yourself out there. But I did, and I passed, and then I came home. I came back to Ohio, and at that point, that's when I had to decide between, do I become or get my real estate license in Ohio? Texas is a non-reciprocal state with all states.
Can you explain the audience, what does that mean?
Yeah, so that means that you can only get your real estate license in Texas and use that real estate license in Texas. You can't go to another state and transfer that license to another state. So I'm like, well, do I take that test all over again?
Well, but you would only have to take the state license, right? Because
there's
the national is already taken care of.
Yep. So
yeah, we have to do 2 exams kind of all in one. You have to take the national and the state.
Yes.
I always said that real estate agents, it should be called like this. It should be like a master's degree, not just a
Oh,
license. Because, dude, the Bibles we have to read.
oh
It's
my, oh wow. Yeah, it
and
was
memorize a bunch of things. It's
absolutely. And
ridiculous.
it was, the classes were quick, which I'm in hindsight, that was great. It was fast paced. You get through all the, materials, but it's challenging.
Yeah.
So I felt, that was a huge milestone to go ahead and do it and then pass it on the first time. But coming home, I was like, I have to figure this out in terms of doing that again or joining with a new construction home builder.
How you ended up with Pulte? How did you went from like general real estate to, okay, I'm gonna do new builds?
Yeah. So when I was in Texas, we actually had lived in a new construction community. The builder was Lennar. And that's when I learned the process and I learned more about just new construction opportunities. And in that area of Frisco, which was kind of going into Prosper, Texas, it was just new construction everywhere. And so at that time, with my real estate license, I was also considering, wow, could I be a new home consultant there?
Yeah.
Right there, or get my real estate license. So that's kind of when I pivoted after, coming here to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And that's why I went with, let me try the builder route because it seemed so fascinating. And then I haven't looked back, since then. I'm like, wow, I like it.
So we're gonna obviously talk about MI and how it's been for you here, because I know you're just starting here. But tell us a little bit about your years with Pulte. How did it all start?
Yeah, so I believe I saw the job posting. I did my research, just studying different.
What did you use, Indeed or one of those?
Yeah.
Or LinkedIn?
Yeah. So I was like, wow, okay, here, it just felt right too. Since I was looking into it, I had already kind of had that, in the back of my mind thinking about it. So when it was just right there in front of me, as soon as I was looking for, a new opportunity, I was like, okay, this feels kind of meant to be. So, I did my research, and Pulte had a great reputation. They're a great builder. They build beautiful homes. So that's when I decided to go ahead and apply for that position.
How was the training process?
Wow, training was awesome. Pulte as a builder is really well known for having a great training, program, and the steps that they take you through to really learn how to sell, and then also the entire new build, management process as well, because that's a lot. So training was great. I think that's when I fell in love with the new build process, the new build industry, and just wanted to keep going.
That's awesome. So then after Pulte, what happened? You moved, you had another journey for personal reasons and family reasons. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Pulte's definitely where, like I said, I fell in love with it. There's just so much I learned about, the Columbus market, the economy, the housing market in general in the US. And just, I learned that was my foundation for sure. In Columbus was everything, from Pulte and all the amazing reps that are there and management there. It was just priceless. Like us meeting at that time, that was pivotal in my life as well. But then with the kiddos and schedules and whatnot, I decided to kind of shift to go online. And I actually was the online sales consultant for Epcon Communities, which is an amazing builder. They build stunning luxury ranch homes.
Oh my gosh.
So working with that sales team, they're incredible. The management there, just wonderful people, good people. The founders of Epcon are amazing. They still go into the corporate office. I saw them every day, Ed and Phil. But working from home, it was challenging for me, actually.
So you originally wanted to work from home because of the schedule with the kids.
Yes.
But then you were working at home and you were like, okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about that. Because I have worked from home. So American Express was a work from home position. So I know. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had always wanted to be, a work from home type person. But I think after having, a new build, new home consultant role where you're up, you're going, there's so many things going on every day, kind of changes in a sense. um Slowing down to that point of being home all the time with the kids, it just became kind of mentally challenging for me. So that's when I decided, hey, maybe I should kind of get back into selling homes again. And then of course on the phone I'm talking to these great people and they're like, okay, we'll meet you at the model, right? And I'm like, no, you won't, because I'm not at the model.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that, because I feel like the nice thing about this world of real estate, there's different paths for everybody, right? And I feel like you're such a amicable person, such an extrovert, that probably that's what was harder for you maybe.
Yeah.
When you were working from home, you're like, maybe we need a little bit of that in-person energy sometimes.
Yes.
But I am sure that it was an invaluable lesson for you, where you got to also experience the side of what happens backstage with all the online calls. So how was that? How was that job? What does it entail for you to do?
Yeah, so that was great. Now I really have an understanding of the entire, sales process, the entire process for buyers, from that first online inquiry or that first call in all the way to close. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, so I managed all of the web leads that came through the website, and then any inquiries or web leads that came through different platforms. So like realtor.com, Zillow, any kind of landing pages that Epcon had out there marketing, the homes. So any calls or, incoming emails, things like that, where people wanted to get more information, they all came to me. So that was that. I mean, that what like a crash course, and learning about all the communities and all the floor plans and whatnot. So I managed all of the online leads.
That is amazing. So then you would allocate those leads depending on the community of what those leads were, depending on the information they were giving you.
That's
you
right.
were like, okay, I'm going to send this
Yep.
to XYZ community. How does the system work? Do you would set it up with a particular rep or to a particular community, and then the system would give it to, because sometimes there are 2 or 3 reps in one community. How
Right.
does that work out?
Yeah. So ultimately, my job or that role is to, be able to have a conversation over the phone with someone, which is challenging. It's very quick. But to qualify them, what are you looking for? When are you looking to move? Like asking all those important questions, narrowing down which community and floor plan could be best, and then asking them if they'd like to visit and set up an appointment. And then once you set up that appointment, that's when you kind of figure out from the system. And it was round robin at that time. So it was kind of depending on the community, then depending on the rep who's at the office that day or who's not. So it kind of would all flow together depending on schedules and things like that. But it was pretty easy to keep it very fair, and just making sure that, all the appointments were just spread out fairly and evenly to everybody.
That is amazing. You just mentioned that the questions.
Yeah.
So for all the agents that were still, hustling and, just trying to generate leads and prospect with those leads, when you are over the phone, it's such a different conversation from when you are one-on-one, and you just said it has to be quick, because you can lose people's attention very
Yep.
quickly. What are, if you could tell us your hacks on, or the best questions that you would ask somebody over the phone that are essential to keep them engaged, so that they would, because the goal is for them to book an appointment, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I think it really was a case by case situation, because some people were pretty chatty, and they disclosed the information, and then it was very easy to have, a conversation that was authentic, because I think that's what comes through even in person. That's kind of what I base my sales ability on, is how authentic I can be, and just actually caring, but I think it really is just directly asking them, why are you thinking about moving? Why are you moving? What's going on that you're thinking about a change? And just that, getting straight to the why, instead of, all of the other kind of smaller questions, just asking them what's going on.
Yeah.
Where are you living now? Where are you from? And then they just kind of open up and start talking about themselves. And then it's easier to then find out, okay, are you looking for, do you even need a ranch home? Like, do you even know what we're selling here?
So what is the skill that you acquired working as an online concierge that you didn't know before that maybe now you can apply it now that you're back on the floor?
Yeah, I think it is just being able to pinpoint the most important questions and the most direct type questions to just get more so to the point.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Like in discovery,
So would
it's
you say
more
that
so
you became really good at discovery, which is
Yes.
an essential part of the sales process?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And being curious and just,
Yeah.
oh, really? Okay. Yeah. So, oh, you're from
XYZ.
X,
Yeah.
right? And then just keeping them engaged and making them feel heard and then having a natural conversation.
That is amazing. So then you were in Epcon for a little bit.
Yep.
And then what happened?
Well, my coworker from Pulte, actually, she joined MI, almost a year ago. And so, we reconnected and we had some conversations just about, how are things at MI? How are things at Epcon? And just catching up. And then with those conversations, she just was like, hey, you know what? I think you'd really like it here. Do you want to get back into new home sales? And so it just kind of took off from there, literally to the point now here I am.
So then Shivali.
Yes.
Shivali said, okay, let's do this together.
Mhm.
And so when did that happen for you?
Yeah, so that was in probably October.
Okay.
Yep.
October 2025.
Yep.
And then you said, okay, I'm coming back to being a rep.
Yep. I talked it over with everyone in my, family and even with, my oldest daughter. How would she feel about me not being home and all of those things? And
is she a teenager? She probably was like, Mom, go.
She was like, huh? Okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Sounds good or whatever. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, and it just sounded like the best move for my family, for the kids, and for me, in my career and looking at the long term about, who I am and what I want to accomplish. So that's when I was like, okay, Shivali, let's do it.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And so for how long were you training with MI?
Yeah, so about a month and a half I trained.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you went through the training program and then you started here in this community in Jerome since January, was it?
So I started at our Glacier Point community, which is like 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
Yep. And then I actually trained between both communities here and there. And then when I was promoted to the sales floor, I was assigned here with Shivali.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys have something very special going on that not everybody in real estate or really in the new builds have going. I've seen it with a few reps, but not everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And so I really want you to share that experience for the agents that are thinking about getting into this career. Because I think this is an essential part also of keeping our mental health intact. So Shivali told you, okay, come here with MI. You did.
Yep.
And then what was the decision that was made between both of you?
Yeah, we decided to be sales partners.
Okay, so tell us, what does that mean?
Yeah, so not all builders, will do that. At MI, they do allow you to do that. So really here, it's almost as if you're kind of like a new construction realtor in a sense, because you're able to cross-sell into any available community that MI has. So instead of working alone to do that cross-selling, we were able to team up and then sell together and work, buyers through the process together as a team. And we're both in communication with our buyers. And so that just completely changed the game for us.
In the practical, let's say in a day-to-day basis, what does that look like? Because you guys have different schedules, right?
We do.
What does that mean for you on a day-to-day?
Yeah, so that means being in constant communication, like we really already are anyway. But on the days that I'm off, it's a huge benefit because any of the buyers that, maybe I'm lead on, I met them first or I met them, in whatever situation. Shivali can continue that conversation and that communication to continue to help them so that they don't have to worry about like, hey, I'm out of office, I'm not available. It really just keeps, the momentum going and they're able to get all their questions answered, really no matter what.
How has that changed your life? Because I know, because I was in your seat with Maronda Homes, I was a builder rep as well. And when you don't have a pair or a team to work with, you have to be answering the phone on your days off. And it's just
Yes,
hard to set boundaries because buyers just need attention, right? And
they
it's
do.
such a big purchase that you got to walk them even when you're off.
That's right. Yeah.
So do you feel like now being with in this partnership with Shivali is
Mhm.
allowing you to have a less burnout and more freedom with your family?
Absolutely. Yeah, that has helped tremendously. Just having that support, having someone to always, check in with to make sure that you're following the process correctly or the way that you're explaining things is, to be more well or to be better received. So that has completely changed. I have, a great family I'm working with right now, but I'm off tomorrow. But hey, no problem. They can meet with Shivali because she's going
That's
to be working.
amazing. And it
Yes.
also keeps you more accountable,
Yes.
right?
That's huge.
Yes.
Yes.
In the follow-ups, because sometimes we forget to follow up, right? So
Things get so busy that, yep, things
would
can
you
fall through the
recommend
cracks.
this system for everybody?
I think yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's with new construction, you're not just, sitting in the model, with nothing much to do. You're also managing the entire community, its appearance. You're working with your construction manager, making sure that you're doing things correctly. With that, you're working as a team. So you have to manage multiple things at the same time. So really any downtime is really designated to more administrative type work and paperwork and things like that. That's always running and going on. So it really is a lot to manage. So being able to have a partner, it's like you can kind of do double the work in less time and share the mental load and then the actual load of managing everything.
And you both have access to the same CRM, right?
That's right.
So you can both go in the file of one customer and put notes as you go.
Yep.
And you just notify management like, hey, we're going to team up.
Yep.
We want to be paid 50-50 for all the commissions and we're
That's
doing
right.
this together.
Yes. Yep.
Let's talk about productivity because I am a firm believer that burnout actually leads to less production.
Yes. I
How
am too.
do you feel that this has increased volume in your sales, less burnout, and just better results overall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't feel the entire, weight of having to be at your best at all times. Like it can be a more natural, I would say, an authentic kind of experience because you can recharge. You're able to, you can keep that energy and that your pace better because you're not managing everything on your own.
Yeah. What about because in any partnership there are points where I don't know if that has happened to you guys yet, but there are points where there can be a little bit of difficult conversations for the agents out there looking to partner with people in their brokerage or even new builders doing this. What would you recommend when you do these pairs so it works out in the good, in the bad, and in the ugly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to have a relationship or even, working relationship with that person where there's trust and where there's transparency.
Yeah.
So I think that's what really works for Shivali and I because we both want to win. I want her to do really well. I want her to be her best. I want her to do well financially. And she wants the same for me. So there's no one that we would meet in the industry or there's no, business relationship that we would have or create that we wouldn't be honest about with each other. So I think in terms of making sales, splitting things 50-50, everything is on the table. We both have a vested interest in being the best new home consultants that we can be, and being knowledgeable about the market and knowledgeable about our products, knowledgeable about our competitors, and giving our customers or our buyers a really great experience. So I think without that, we genuinely couldn't do it. Shivali doesn't feel like I'm going to be doing anything behind her back and not treating her fairly, and I don't feel that she would do that either.
That is amazing. So you guys have been doing this for how many months since January?
Yeah. Yep.
Tell the audience how many sales you got going since January, because you guys just started and you're already killing it.
Yes, absolutely. I think she had another sale this morning. So man, I think maybe close to 10.
Girl,
in April.
That is amazing.
Yes.
That is amazing. It's not an easy thing to do.
No.
That is amazing.
It really is, I think.
And especially in this community, which is higher in price, right? And we all know, I mean, the higher the price of a home is, it's a little trickier to sell, right?
Absolutely.
You guys are doing amazing.
Yeah, we're trying, you know?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about MI as a company. What have you learned? And now that you've been in 3 different builders here in Ohio, what can you tell us about MI?
Yeah, MI is the hometown builder. MI is the #1 builder in Central Ohio for a reason. So, you know, I went from a production builder at Pulte, builds beautiful homes, has a well-oiled machine, a good system for building homes, 100% the warranty, everything. And then I went to more of a ranch style home with
for a lifestyle.
For a lifestyle. So it was just a different build, used different materials. Again, builds incredible homes, but a completely different kind of process.
And different audience. Yes, for sure.
And then with MI, they again are a production builder that sells all types of lifestyles at all budgets. So at Pulte, there's no cross-selling. And I, of course, wasn't technically, you know, selling at EPCON. So now coming to MI, it has been nothing short of a phenomenal experience. Every community has, you know, different, you know, benefits and advantages to it or to them, and you can buy different types of homes in each. So I think I've had to learn 50 different floor plans, you know?
I was just about to ask you, so how many communities and floor plans do you currently have in MI?
Yep.
In Central Ohio?
Yep, we have 20 communities right now across Central Ohio.
That gives you a ton of options, people.
It does. And you know, a few of those are coming soon, not you know, released to sell quite yet. And we have 4 series of homes. So we have attached townhomes on slab that are low maintenance. We have single family homes on slab that are low maintenance. We also have, you know, small to mid-sized single family homes with basements. And then we have large single family homes with basements. So we quite literally have something for everyone, for every family, every lifestyle. MI, having, you know, been building for 50 years. This is MI's 50th year this year.
Was it a company born here in Ohio?
Yes. Yep. Cousins, Melvin and Irving Schottenstein. They started it right here in Columbus. And I think that's the kind of the magic of it. You know, they lived here and they wanted to provide beautiful homes for the community that they lived in. And, you know, Melvin, his, you know, motto was really doing the right thing and treating customers right. And I think that has lived on in MI's employees and each, you know, member or part of the team. Management, that's how it seems when, you know, doing deals with buyers. It's like, hey, let's make this work for them. What do they need? As opposed to just like, well, here's your house and figure it out. Yeah, this is what we got. You want it, take it or leave it. It's more like, okay.
They really are willing to work with the buyer and negotiate.
That's right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how your experience with working with different realtors has been, and what are MI has been doing to support your business to network more with realtors.
Absolutely. MI loves their realtor partners,
We were just talking about that, right? A bunch of your
yes.
business comes from realtors as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. A realtor partnership is vital to the success of the communities, to the success of the experience for the buyers. So MI 100% supports realtor partnerships. They allow us as, new home consultants to get out during model hours even, to, go to different realtor events, go to different, and market ourselves and introduce ourselves, to do lunch and learns at realtor offices. We are a part of realtor associations throughout Columbus because they really want us to sell, and teach, the benefits or the advantages of new construction in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
So it's invaluable, the partnership.
What are some of the things that when you have a customer walking through your doors with a realtor partner, if you could tell the agents out there,
Yeah.
what would you recommend them to make the working relationship as easy and smooth as possible?
Yeah. So I think there's some, hesitation sometimes for some realtors to give that contact information and to let them know, let the rep know who your clients are. But on our end, it's so important for us to know that so that we can register your clients in the CRM, so that if your clients start going into model homes without you and don't mention you, um, that in a sense would mean that you're unprotected. But if you let us know who they are and we can register their information in the system, they can go do whatever they want and then you're protected. So we don't ever encourage, buyers to not disclose that they have a realtor. We always want to know so that everything can be, properly documented, and so that, ultimately you get your commission.
Correct. Let's break some of the myths for realtors and for buyers, because I think that's where the fear is coming from. I think that the fear on the realtor side, I don't have it because I was on your seat, obviously,
Yeah.
but is that, oh my God, am I going to give you my client's information? I don't even know what stage they are. What if
Yeah.
then you take my lead and what are you going to do with it? So
Right.
explain a little bit, especially for newer agents, why is it so important? What happens if the buyer comes without them and don't disclose it, and then what happens to your system? Why it
Yes.
becomes so tricky
Yes.
to change
Yes.
it later?
That's right. So at MI, specifically, and most builders, as a realtor, you need to be the procuring cause of the sale. So essentially, you need to send your clients to a community, to a model, or you need to come with them. That first visit, it has to be disclosed that they do have an agent, because then down the road, if your clients decide to change their realtor, and now they have a new realtor and it's their brother or their brother-in-law or something like that, but you have done all that work, you've put in all the legwork, you are protected because you are documented in the system as being the procuring cause. So that cannot be changed. It can't be taken out of the system. And then if they do move forward into contract, you will be included on the contract.
Yeah, and we said it over and over. Buyers that come without the realtor, the builder considers you their lead. It's really what it boils down to,
Yeah.
right? And then on the buyer side, when they come, maybe they didn't tell their realtor that they were going to be visiting model homes. I think the fear is, oh, I'm going to tell you who my realtor is. You're going to tattle on me, or you're going to call them and my realtor is going to get angry at me or whatever. What really happens, and why you're so adamant about telling buyers that to be transparent with you on if they've been working with a realtor, what happens? And I think another one is they think they might get a discount if they don't bring a realtor.
Oh,
So let's talk
goodness.
a little bit about these two situations so that
Yeah.
it's clarified.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just documentation purposes to make sure that everyone is treated fairly. Also, when there is a realtor involved as a new home consultant, you want to make sure that you're, positioning the realtor to, you know, um, you're positioning the realtor to be able to work the process the best that they can as well.
Yeah.
So you're the trusted advisor and we work as a team. We're partnering to help the buyer purchase the home in the right community and the right type of home for them. So it's never about stepping on toes or, not positioning everyone to look their best and to be able to, serve the buyer the best. So that's why we really need to know so that we can just do what's best for the client.
Yeah, absolutely. Do buyers get a discount if they don't bring a realtor?
No, no, they don't. And so that's,
What's the logic behind it? Because I feel that's where some customers think,
Mhm.
oh, maybe the builder is going to save their commission and I'm going to get it in this. Why it doesn't work that way?
Right. Yes. So for, most builders, there isn't a certain part of the budget that
You're fine. We have no noise reduction here.
Okay.
It's okay.
That was my alarm to remind him to do her chores. Um, so yes, if that 3% is what they're able, I'm sorry. So realtors, realtors are able to make a 3% commission, but that 3% commission cannot be transferred, to the buyer as a discount. That you either have a realtor or you don't. There's not a transfer of those funds to become a discount in any way.
Because it's already also taken into account for their marketing efforts.
That's right.
As a builder, right?
Yes.
So it's not like, don't do that. If you're working with a realtor, just say so.
Yeah.
And avoid any misunderstandings down the road, because remember, realtors don't get paid until you close on the house.
That's
Neither
right.
do they. So
yeah, that's right.
It works the same for everybody on both ends, because they represent the seller, we represent the buyer, and that's how it is.
Yep.
Now let's talk a little bit about the best experience you ever had with a buyer.
You?
Well, other than me. What are some of the most memorable situations that you were like, oh my God, this really holds a special place in my heart?
Oh man. So yeah, definitely you. That was, when I could really step outside of, because obviously you have your new home consultant hat on, and I could, take it off and just make sure that you felt informed and confident that you were making the best decision and it wasn't about the sale, you know. But I like to work like that in general. We're all people, we're all hardworking, we're all like, this is your home. I'm selling a home for your family.
Yeah.
Your kids growing up in the home. I would want to be treated, with care. So man, I think I've sold quite a few homes now. But I would definitely say also in Gardenia, I was working with a family and the wife was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she was a teacher at the school that the kids attended for the community. And she was just so sweet and so kind. And they also were in a situation where they weren't exactly sure what their options were with new construction. And, budget wise, they were kind of not sure about what would be best for them. So we were really able to walk through the entire process. And it just seemed like after realizing that was doable for them, financially, it was just really emotional. She's a mom, and I think probably one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. Like, just such a sweet and kind and caring person. So the gratitude, and it just made the experience was just it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience, selling a really, really sweet family a home that they didn't think that they could afford.
That is, I think, one of the crucial things that we do in this job, right? Making feel people that they deserve it, that they can do it, and just guide them through the most favorable thought process to just, and that's why discovering is so important, right? Because sometimes it happened to me, like some of my customers, at the end of the closing, they said, Alex, you helped us doing something that we did not believe we could do ourselves. And that's why we're here, because maybe and it's a lot of information, right? It is it's a lot to consider. It's a lot of numbers, emotions. It's just so much that you get an information.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
It is a lot of information. So, I mean, how many times you have to repeat the same information to buyers throughout
Yeah.
the process
Yeah.
because they forget, because it's a whole, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. That's
The
why
more
we're
question,
here.
yeah,
And being a team,
yeah,
it's even better for them.
yeah. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you want to talk about, like to put the message out there?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I think you're just incredible. You need a talk show. I'm like, this, you are, wow. Like, this is wonderful.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
good.
is good.
So let's talk a little bit about what promotions you got going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us a little bit about your own village and this community where you're sitting. Although you cross sell,
Yeah.
but you have this home office. So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about
So Jerome Village Applewood is MI's newest Jerome Village community. So we actually already had communities here that sold out and they continued building because Jerome Village is such a desirable area to live in. The vision for this area is just incredible. It's really just having everything, conveniently located to where you live. It truly is a little village. So we have residential space, we have commercial space. There's a Kroger marketplace here and other shops and businesses. And then 15 miles of walking trails because they connect to Glacier Ridge Metro Park.
That is amazing.
Yes.
So, yeah, so the walkability, the bike paths, everything that this community has is amazing. Tell us about the promotions.
Yeah. So this particular community, we sell our largest homes in the Signature series. So what's really incredible, and this promotion is actually coming to an end at the end of April, so just in a few days now, but MI was able to lock in a 5.25 interest rate. That'd be on a 30
For dirt homes?
For dirt.
What?
For dirt.
Okay, so let me back up, because usually the builders will lock rates when it's a inventory. For an inventory home, it means that it's going to close around 90 to 60 days, because they cannot predict the future rates for like a long amount of period.
Right.
But they're purchasing rates for dirt homes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Tell us, what does that mean with the current market rates?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that monthly payment is really up to $500 a month on the monthly payment that we can save, being able to lock in and secure that 5.25 rate.
That is amazing. How do you work hand in hand with your lenders to achieve that?
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone anyone who is ready to go and purchase a home with us does have to be pre-qualified. So whether that's with a different lender, obviously preferably with MI Financial, who the benefit of that really is that it's such a smooth, transaction and process. They are, they work specifically with new construction homes, so they know the entire process. You have to be pre-qualified, and then you really understand where you're at financially. And then they're able to let you know with that pre-qualification if you can go ahead and get that rate that we're offering. So then everything is very, transparent. There's a lot of certainty that you get immediately with that pre-qualification. And then you can move forward very confidently in knowing, I got this promotional rate, it's locked in, it's not going to change, and now we can just build our home. But that promotion was just for April. So,
and was it just for this community in particular?
All
the communities?
All communities.
Girl.
Yes. And $6,500 to closing costs. Yeah. So we all, our whole team was just going crazy.
Now,
like that's just unheard of.
So buyers only get these incentives if they use your lender.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So just to clarify, the majority of builders have an in-house lender, and those incentives are going to be tied to you using the in-house lender.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. We also have a 4.875% interest rate on homes that can close by June. And you'd also receive $6,500 in closing costs, or toward closing costs, excuse me. And then we also have quick move-in homes that can close between July and December. So they extended that lock rate, or that rate lock. So those quick move-in homes get the 5.25 rate.
Can you tell us a little bit about for the newer generations that are out there, maybe about to go to high school,
Yeah.
and they are not, or coming out of high school, sorry, and they are unsure on what to do with their lives. How could real estate change their life? And do they need to get in a student loan to make this huge
Oh,
career?
right. Yeah, that's so critical. I think now we're kind of at a point in 2026 where now families understand that their children can go into debt by getting into, colleges or universities. And now that more options have just opened up for students, for families in terms of career options, and getting your real estate license would absolutely positively not put you into debt. So that's something that you could pay for, out of pocket directly, or even, wanting to get into new home construction here in Columbus, you don't need your real estate license. You could still get into real estate. But buying a home and understanding property laws are everyone should know. Any
Correct.
any person who needs a home and is living in a home should understand the laws around the home and the property and the land that the community you live in. So there's absolutely no downside to learning it. I feel like property law should just be taught in school because
Yeah,
it's so interesting.
100%.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
learning how the government uses property and how they, make certain decisions concerning the areas that you live in. It's really, really important. So having that education and that knowledge, and then being able to really help your community by helping them get homes, it's just the return, on that investment just keeps going and going.
Would you recommend your kids to study for this career?
Yes.
Are you
All
happy
my
in this
kids.
career?
Yes.
Well, now you
Yep. I
know
want
it.
all my kids to
If
get
you
their
do
real
not
estate
know what to
license.
do with your life, this is a great career to follow. Let
Yep.
us know. We're here for you. Again, if you're a buyer out there looking for your first home, or if you are an investor, we also work with investors,
Oh,
or you're right
absolutely.
sizing. The suggested steps is look for your realtor first,
Yes.
have that consultation, and then we can take you to these amazing builder reps in Central Ohio. And the best thing is that we know who's who in the market and who's who
Yeah.
in this business to pair you with the right person. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for this interview. It's been a
Yes. Thank
delight.
you. You're
Thank you. I love
wonderful. I
you.
love you too. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody. Bye.